Hello, I'm a PS3 and welcome back to the video. So one of the things I've realised about Minecraft, now that I've been playing it for around 6 years, is the fact that your tastes in what you like in both builds and texture packs seems to change over time. I used to really only like vanilla, and that's still mostly the case, but one of the things that's slowly grown on me over the time that Minecraft console has existed, because it has gotten better and better and better, is the city texture pack. When this first came out, I really used to think it was just for very specific circumstances, you know, cities and stuff, but it actually has a lot of great uses for pretty much any creative world, and it's one of my favourite textures now, and I want to talk about how that is that it changed so much on me in today's video, and also give you a little bit of a world tour of the creative world in the city texture pack. So two things in one video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. You can like the video if you do, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like this sort of video. But with that said, let's get straight into talking about the city texture pack, which launched about 3 years ago now for Minecraft console. And again, when it first came out, the only thing I thought it was useful for is stuff like in the credits menu, as you can see here, making a city. It looks really good for cities. This was a thing that I thought, yeah, that's really good. It makes modern buildings really, really well. But outside of modern buildings, what is it useful for? Like, I can never recommend it, because how often are you building that? Probably not often enough to recommend a texture pack. However, I feel like since then there's been lots of subtle changes to it, as well as brand new blocks coming in that have made it better and better and better. And the biggest example, if you don't know, this is really what lured me into it, because I've been playing more and more, because of the car llamas. That's right, if you put you know, carpet on top of a llama, llamas themselves look pretty adorable, but if you put carpet on them too in this texture pack, it will turn them into a car, which is pretty cool. Like saying like, oh yeah, look, it's a llama with shades and a police uniform. Like, it's really interesting stuff. But then also, if you know, the interesting little Easter egg here that I'm pretty sure, you know, is one of the best Easter eggs they've ever added to the game, is the fact that if you make them invisible just like this, then that means that you can only see the car, and that means you can have cars in Minecraft that you can just sit on and you can ride and stuff. So that's right, I'm riding a car. Isn't this the most amazing thing? I really do think it's great, and it's one of the things they did with this update that I just really do quite like. But it's not just the llama feature that I think they've really done quite well with when it comes to the city texture pack. I think a lot of the items that have come recently have really benefited in this texture pack. So what do I mean by that? So although you know, like having new build blocks is nice, I think, you know, this scale is kind of interesting to say the least. I think you know, a lot of other blocks such as the curse plant have really had this just giant improvement, because as you can see, this is a traffic light. You know, it's one of those things that's going to be really weird if you're playing survival, but I think the thing about this texture pack is it kind of just ignores survival for the most part. Like, you can still make survival stuff, but they use a lot of the rarer and vaguer items to just make interesting stuff that can make much better builds if that's what you're into. So for instance, you can have a traffic light which slowly grows. I didn't realize it was still growing. But also, if you get the fruit from the crow's flower, look, it's a light bulb, and it's a really interesting, again, and although that doesn't make any sense that you get light bulbs from a traffic light, I guess it actually does make some sense. But it's really interesting that it does work that way. But you know, the eating it doesn't make any sense, at least. But it does make for a really, you know, good looking texture pack that can do some interesting stuff. Also, if we look at end stone and end brick, they both have really nice textures. Like, look at this texture right here. This is really, really, really great. Like, you could use this for some actually really good path, unlike regular end stone, which looks pretty awful. And even like some of the, you know, particularly worse defending blocks. So Neverwar block, for instance, I think it looks just about passable here. If we look at gravel, for instance, everyone's most hated, or my most hated block at the very least, as you can see, like, it's just about passable as a thing, because they made pretty much every block in the game, which is usually kind of ugly, just look a lot better in this one. In fact, I'd say a lot of them look like they're gonna look in their new Minecraft retexture. So, you know, this is like Minecraft, but looking a little bit better if that's what you're into. And I think that's a really great thing they do with this texture pack. But, you know, this isn't the only thing I'm talking about. I also mean like features like, you know, built into the game. So, you know, for survival and stuff, like the wooden mansion. The wooden mansion looks great in this texture pack. Like, first of all, cobblestone, as you can see, much nicer, you know, like less ugly thing to look at. And then when you get into the place itself, you can see the flooring is just way nicer. And this whole, you know, building is just much nicer to explore in this texture pack. And I think that's something that, you know, either was accidentally done, or maybe the artists just really love this texture pack. But it seems like they put a lot of care and, you know, effort into this particular one. So whenever new features come out, I'm excited to see them in this texture pack, because they always seem to be good. Like, as an example, as you can look at these beds right here. They look kind of futuristic and stuff. Look at the shulker boxes, for instance. I think they've got a pretty good texture in here, like especially the more vibrant ones. The fact that when new features come out, they're good. Look at that, for instance. When new features come out, they look good in this texture pack. It's something I do really quite like. And then also all of the mobs have got this kind of adorable theme. Look at these cats, and then you can kind of see why maybe, just maybe, I think this is a good texture pack. So yeah, I really like that they've improved this. I still think, you know, they've got like a problem of survival not really working, but as a creative texture pack, I think this is great. And that's because I looked around my entire world and I realized there was pretty much only one build in this entire world that didn't look the same or better in the city texture pack than it did in default. So let me show you what I mean by that. Also, look at these banners. They look so much better, don't they? But let me show you what I mean by that, because as you look around the world, you can see how everything has a slight, change to it, but for the most part, things have just gotten better. So if you look at like the little cat face over there, oh sorry, the just cat thing in general, as you can see, although it looks a bit more like, it looks more like an instant image or something, that's kind of what it was meant to be. If we look at, like the PS4 controller, although it looks like, because the black wall is, it's got like the weird brick pattern to it, it actually looks like a different controller, and it works. It doesn't, go horribly messed up like, we've seen with other texture packs, and I think that's kind of great that pretty much anything, at the very least, seems to just about work, with the very, very few exceptions. So for instance, my Ocelot skin, I think, I'm not meant to be a brown Ocelot. That's a bit weird. It looks like wood for some reason. But with very few exceptions, you look around at any build in this world, particularly if it is a building already, and you can see it just massively improves. Look at these two towers in this texture pack. I just, it massively improves anything that's a building, but it looks like either they've been working on it, or maybe it might, again, things just seem to have changed with the new blocks. But it looks like for the most part, okay, this is also kind of bad. But this was bad in the default texture pack too. But if you look at any building, it improves massively, but also any other sword thing also does quite well. Look at this pickaxe, for instance. I really love that. I think this is like, when the super duper graphics do come out for console, if you don't have to use that texture pack, this might be one of the best options for it, because everything already has this just nicer kind of feel to it. And again, given that they're changing Minecraft already to look a little bit more like this, it's kind of good that there's a texture pack like this that exists for creative players at the very least. So here's my Xbox One, for instance. And yeah, as you can see, everything around this world, I feel at least has, some amount of improvement from going into this texture pack, or it just looks exactly the same. Look at Majura's mask. It looks either the same or a tiny bit better in this texture pack. There's just all these tiny things as you look around the world where you realize that, oh yeah, I actually kind of like that. And that's why I think this texture pack is kind of great. But it's not just my own creative world. I thought, like testing one world, it could just be that I've used a lot of the right blocks for this texture pack, because again, like stuff like Endstone does really well and stuff like that. So one more step, by the way. I really love the banners in this. Let me show you one more time. But as you can see, look, the banners have that great outline around them. It just makes banners look better. Surprisingly, you might not figure that's even a thing you can do, but yeah, banners just look a whole bunch better here. Look at the flags, for instance. Look at the cat, look at the creeper, look at everything just looks a little bit better with that black outline, and it's really quite fascinating. But yeah, it's not just my own world, because, that's kind of cool by itself, but let's back out now, and let's show you something which is notoriously bad in every other texture pack, because if you take the mashup pack worlds and you convert them to any other texture pack, they usually look awful. This is why the Mass Effect world is like one of the big laughing stops, but even if you look at the Fallout world in default, everything goes a little bit awful, and although that's not, entirely untrue for something like this texture pack, you can see how the Fallout world in particular, or like, there was a couple of ones I tested, some builds are just beyond repair, but some builds actually do quite work. That's right, you can convert from other texture packs to this kind of well. So if we look at these giant satellite arrays, I think they look better in this texture pack than they did by default. I think you get some really good looking builds, which is surprising because these rely really heavily on wool. So you can see there's really ugly stuff like this town right here, like, maybe this is just meant to be colorful, but it doesn't really quite work in this because, again, they use too much wool, which is texture pack dependent. But there's a lot of things where when you look at them, if it uses a building block in any way, it looks really good in this. So for instance, look at this building right here. I really like, this is like something that I really want to build myself, honestly. Like, it's a good looking build that's just amazing to look at. If we look over here, for instance, this is one of my favorite examples. This little, I guess it's like a water treatment plant, or like a sewage, something involving pipes and the sea. If we look at this thing right here, as you can see, it just looks so much better in this texture pack, and that's something that I find to be quite interesting about it. The fact that, like, not only can it convert your existing, worlds and do it kind of well, with very few exceptions, that it also can take a lot of other stuff in there. So look at this crane, for instance. It can also take a lot of other stuff, even if it was designed for a texture pack, which is awful looking because it, it uses a lot of, if it's awful looking because it involves deliberately using a lot of other stuff, I think it's still kind of interesting that this does work that way. So as you can see, this is 10-penny tower, I think it is, still looking pretty good. And even the terrain itself, the post-apocalyptic terrain, which should in theory look awful in this one, actually works quite well. So it works for terrain, it works for buildings, it works for anything besides, some survival stuff. Again, I just don't think this is the best survival texture pack in the world. And I think, my point today is, like, give it another try, load up your world in it, and let me know what you think of your world in this texture pack. Because, again, some of you probably wouldn't have tried that. I imagine most of you probably haven't. And it's something that I gave a new try recently too, and I did quite like. And I'd like to know your opinions on that too. So if we look around just a little bit more, just in case you're curious, even stuff like this little ship right here, even though it has blue thrusters for some reason, it looks like a, funky, colorful ship, and it actually quite works. If you look at, a lot of things around the world, it has that effect, and I'd like to know if it has it on your worlds too. So let me know in the comments down below. Like if you did like it, helps out the channel a lot. Let's know you do like these sorts of videos, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see those daily on your homepage. Make sure you hit the bell, because that gives you you notifications every single time I upload, which is something you might want if you want to see videos every time I upload them.